Guys, this is PARM with Pro Box Respect TKO. I'm with Alfie Warren in North London. Alfie, it's been a while. How you doing?
All good, all good. How you been?
Yeah, good mate. Yeah, just busy with a bit of work and stuff. But
We all are, aren't we?
Yeah, but looking forward to the 4 days off now. How about you, mate?
I know I'm going to be working tomorrow and Friday. Tomorrow and Monday anyway, so I have Saturday and Sunday off, but
Let's hope you're on double bubble.
I hope so as well. But we've all got to chase that pan note, haven't we? So.
100% mate. Just going back to the main event last weekend, Saturday, Manchester Arena, Frank Warren show. You was up there, weren't you, mate?
Yeah. Working on the show and all that up there. So
excellent.
it was a brilliant night, absolutely brilliant night. It was a great night to kick off BT Sport.
Yes.
Great response, great fights, and gonna go. You can just tell by the reaction from everything. It's going to go from strength to strength. So I'm excited to see where it's going to go for Frank Warren Promotions.
Mate, what's it like to be working behind the scenes of a huge show like that? I mean, it was sold out, wasn't it? And you're on television and stuff. It must have felt amazing, wasn't it? A huge card as well.
It's yeah. I mean, I treat it, like working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's like it's brilliant if you're working behind the scenes of a York Hall show than when you're working, say, at an O2 or Manchester Arena.
Sure.
It's you've got a great team that works with you. It's we all get our jobs done. It's like it's like one big family. Working
it's
there.
Teamwork, isn't it?
It's teamwork. We enjoy it. Sometimes stressful, but we get through it and we do a good job at the end of the day. And so. I can't complain. You're up and down the country doing it, so it's very
good
fulfilling. Yeah.
Good. Well, as I was watching it at home, but it was a great show. Some great fights on there, mate. I'll run through them quickly, and you tell me what you thought of the fights. So we have Flanagan versus Petrov, Smith versus Williams. Obviously, Nicola Adams, who will be fighting again on 13th of May. Jack Cattle versus Martin Gaffin, sorry. And then you've got Daniel Dubois.
Daniel Dubois,
yeah. So give us your analysis on those, Alfie. Let's start with the main event then.
Flanagan Petrov. Flanagan. Do you know what? It was such a tough opponent. Not many people, like the casual fans and all that, will know who Peter Petrov is. Peter Petrov is a world-class opponent.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. He's ranked highly in all the governing bodies, very highly. It's a fight that Petrov was number one. It was supposed to be Vijaya, Felix Vijaya was supposed to be fighting. He went to number one, Petrov. Before the mandatory was called, we got the fight. He could have, the mandatory weren't there anyway. So Petrov. Terry wanted to fight him. We knew how tough he would be. Yeah. And we knew the kind of style it was. I mean, Frank was a bit dubious to it. Not saying that he was a danger man. Like, I think that it was a case of like, would Petrov's style make Flanagan look good? Flanagan. There was never no confidence that Flanagan would beat him. Yeah. But I thought that he would give Flanagan some problems. But Flanagan showed his class, and he and he I think he won nearly every round against a tough, but Petrov made him work for that. But I just think Terry Flanagan's one of the best technical boxers that we've got. He's got one of the hardest working boxers as well. Never had a gym,
and he's still undefeated as well.
Lives the life, the longest undefeated record of any British boxer at the moment.
Yeah.
And the big fight, the big fights are there for him next, and I've got no doubt in my mind that Frank's going to deliver them for him. So,
well, I remember straight after at ringside when Frank was asked, he's talking about the likes of Lomachenko now, and from what I'm reading in the media, mate, apparently he's up for it as well.
Do you know what? This is what I'm saying. He needed a big fight like that, Petrov, because he's beat him on a big platform like BT now. He's been on a big platform that was aired over overseas and everything. Lomachenko had the fight on the weekend against Sosa, and now he's being called out. They want the Terry Flanagan fight now. You know, Mikey Garcia, Lomachenko wants to move up in weight. So it's a brilliant time for Terry Flanagan. There's big paydays out there for him, and there's big fights out there for him. And Terry really fancies a job, you know. I mean, he's gonna, you know, Lomachenko. That's not, you know, beat around the bush. Lomachenko, I think, is the best fighter on the planet.
Just
just to be in a, for Terry just to be in the ring with him or whatever. But you know, let's get it right. If he steps up in weight to fight Terry Flanagan will be his toughest test to date.
Yeah.
And there's no question about that. Right? And Terry really, really fancies the fight. But
I know you're going to back Terry. How would you see that fight going, mate?
Do you know what? I just see a great fight. You know, Lomachenko. A lot of people are going to favour Lomachenko.
Two southpaws as well.
Do you know what? Sometimes that's, you know, sometimes when you get two southpaws together, it's ingredients for a stinker fight. But it won't be in this case. You know, he's I'd say he's phenomenal, Lomachenko, because he is. I think he's one of the best fighters I've seen in my lifetime. You know, and Terry wants to fight the best. You know, but you know. That division there, you've got four guys. If he steps up Lomachenko, you've got four guys: Mikey Garcia, Terry Flanagan, Jorge Linares, and Lomachenko. It's just unbelievable.
There's no weak champion there. They're all strong champions.
And let me tell you, Terry belongs up there with them.
Sure.
Terry really does belong up there with them. You know, people calling about the Crawler fight.
Yeah.
And I know that, you know, some of Crawler's team and all that has been saying, right, this fight's worth that, but. You know, I'm going back to what Frank says here. Let's get it right. He's coming off 2 losses. You know?
That's right.
And is it as big as what it was before the Jorge Linares fight? No, I don't think so. He's got some building up to do. Crawler's talking about moving up in weight, but then Terry's talking about moving up in weight soon. So you know that fight's always going to be there, and you know I'd like to see it, but you know, in my opinion, Terry's a class above Andy Crawler.
And you know what? Going back to Linares, mate, he's obviously been a while. He's been around a while. He beat Kevin Mitchell. I was at that fight, but he's really come of age now, isn't he?
I think he's improving every fight, Linares. I think he's another Terry Flanagan.
I mean, those first 6 or 7 rounds, mate, he was almost hitting Crawler at will, wasn't he? He was tremendous.
Well, do you know what? That's why I couldn't understand. You know, I watched the first fight, and I thought that Linares had a poor night, which he did.
Yeah.
And I thought Crawler had a good night. So I don't know what the reasoning was for taking that rematch after, for turning Terry Flanagan down and taking Jorge Linares, because Linares was not going to be any worse, but Crawler weren't going to be any better in the first fight. So, and that showed.
And you've got to do something different. You've got to make adjustments and do something different. If you're not, as we saw, he got beaten again. Quickly moving on, mate.
Yes.
Smith versus Williams. That
brilliant fight. It lived up. It lived up to everything that he said it would, apart from the ending. Yeah. But you know, these things happen in boxing. Like, you know, the clash of heads. You've seen it. You know. Like,
did you have Williams ahead on points as well?
I had Williams ahead by a couple of rounds.
Yeah.
I had Williams, but Liam Smith was coming right back into that fight. You know, who knows what would have happened. You know, and let's not get it right. You know, I mean, everyone saying I'm gutted that it ended like that. Liam Williams would be gutted that it ended like that. But let's get it right. Liam Smith would be gutted that how that ended. You know, you don't want to end the fight like that. You don't want to end the fight like that. And you know, they both showed so much heart, and Liam Williams. But I know that even in previous fights, you see that Liam Smith always starts slow.
Yeah.
But, you know, Liam Williams just proved to everyone how good he is.
He was really good, mate.
He was. Do you know what? Really, and the thing about Liam Williams is, and it's the same with Liam Smith, the better the fighter, the more he's going to step up. It's the same with Flanagan on the weekend. You know, you look at going back to Flanagan, you look at the other 2 opponents like Orlando Cruz and Farner. Even though he beat them guys quite comfortably, he couldn't get up for them. You see him against Petrov, who's a world-class opponent, and he looks spectacular. And it's the same with those guys. You know, I think once they step up to a thing like Liam Smith against Canelo, he looked good against Canelo. I thought he looked good against Canelo. Didn't let Canelo bully him or anything like that. But obviously Canelo was just that little bit better.
Quick question for you, because I've heard a few people mention it. I'm a Liam Smith fan, and after that a Williams fan as well. But the Smiths with Gallagher, they all come in very, very offensive, forward, high guard. Do you think a few of his opponents since Canelo and now Williams, do you think they're sort of working out how to get through that, past that style a little bit?
You know, he has got one way. I mean, the thing about Liam is he can box.
Yeah.
He can box and he can mix it up. You know, I think with Williams, like in regards to working out, I mean, you could do that with any fighter though. I mean, you study their tapes, and you know, like it's the same thing. Like study Flanagan's tape, and he can adapt to any style or anything like that. It's just a case of just showing variety in your work, like, and you know. But I don't think it's a case of like sussing out the things. I mean, because you could do that with any fighter. Sure. You know, I don't think so. But obviously, I know what you're saying. Like you've seen the things and all that sort of stuff. But you know, Joe, Joe's a good enough trainer, and you know. I suppose he's got his way of doing things, and you know. Yeah, but he's had well, you know, Joe's had some success, and of late he's not had some success. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, you know. Yeah,
and they're also fighting, you know, a much higher level opponent as well, especially when you look at 6 months ago with Canelo. Talking about those two guys quickly again, they both sustained eye injuries, didn't they?
Yes.
Now, does that mean that there's a possible rematch after they've healed, or?
Well, it's been shouted at for it. Okay. I think it's been shouted at for it. I think you know, with the response from, you know, people going a bit harsh on Liam as well, you know, that they're saying about it was a flying headbutt. You know, I've watched it. You know, I don't think, you know, Liam's not malicious like that. I really don't think it was, and I think it's just. But listen, it's a contact sport, and things happen like that. You know, it's happened to Liam when people have, you know, clashed the edge. He's been cut a couple of times as well. But me personally, I don't think there's nothing malicious in it. I don't think Liam's like that whatsoever. Liam Smith's like that. So, but you know, I think the rematch is just a natural thing. You know, with Liam not making a weight, which is disappointing for everyone, and the interim title is still vacant there. So, you know, the WBO, I'd imagine that Frank and all that, we're going to clear this up with WBO and hopefully have a rematch for that title again, with Liam making the weight this time. And you know, hope he does do that. And you know, but there's loads of options there for him.
I haven't looked at the actual WBO rankings, mate, for the super welterweight. But does Canelo still hold the title there?
Canelo still has the title at the moment. He hasn't vacated there.
Right.
But you know, you had Liam Williams there, and Cotto is number 1 or number 2. Right. So you know, there's some big fights there for him. But
come out of retirement and go straight at the top. But
well, do you know what? Listen, boxing's business. You
of course it is.
Exactly. You know what? You know what's going to happen. But I think it's going to be. I think, me personally, you know, I can't speak for, you know, any of the Frank Warren team for what they're going to do. Me personally, I'd love to see the rematch and all that. I think that obviously Liam would want to set the record straight. And I'll tell you something. After the response there with Liam, I think he's been getting some unfair criticism. I think that Liam Smith is going to want to go and set the record straight after this as well. You know, and you know, they were both. I always noticed. I noticed it backstage before the fight. I went in both the dressing rooms, and they were so calm. There was no nerves from any of them. You know, they probably fit it in their stomach, but they was both so cool. They both so fancied it. But you know, bravo to both of them. They put on a show for everyone, and I'm really, really glad the response the fight got.
I'll be looking forward to that rematch and speedy recovery to both Liams as well.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely, mate. Just quickly, a few of the guys that we wanted to mention was Nicola Adams, Jack Catterall, Daniel Dubois. What's your feelings about those guys, mate?
Well, Nicola Adams, I thought she'd done extremely well for her pro debut.
Yeah.
You know, she got a great reception from the crowd coming out. You know, rightfully so as well. She probably is like, you know, the best about female boxer as well. I think. You know, I think she was saying about the rounds being a bit longer and all that sort of stuff, and I can see where she was coming from. I mean, 2-minute rounds is thing. So I don't, you know, all these other stuff. But I was really, really impressed with her. Jack Catterall and Martin Geffin.
Yeah.
I was really surprised that Jack got him out there so early. Martin Geffin. You know, Martin Geffin come off a great win with John Wayne Ibbott, and you know, absolutely, he did what he had to do against him. But Jack Catterall, I knew that Jack would win it, but I didn't think he'd win it in the style we've done. And Jack is one of the biggest rising stars in British boxing. You've got the lightweight division with Harara Davis, Josh Taylor, Robbie Davis Jr. You know, there's so many great fights out there to be made, and Jack's going to be in amongst them. And I think, me personally, I think Jack's the best out of a lot of them, and I'm gonna back him all the way. So, and with Daniel
Dubois,
you know, he did what he had to do. Like there was a change of opponent at the last minute.
It's never easy.
It's never easy, but the original opponent would have been absolutely perfect for him for the debut fight. But you know, you have to carry on from that. It was a bit, you know, disappointing, but you know, we made the best of what you could have got at the last minute. So he did what he had to do, and it was like the first punch he did. But it just shows you this kid is 19 years old. You know, I'm calling him a kid. Fucking hell, he towers over me. Like that's not the right word for him. This great big young man is just, you know, you could just tell he's got a great attitude. He's got, you know, he's got the physique with it. I've seen, you know, with Martin Bowers who are holding, you know, like high stead as one of the best trainers in the country.
Yeah.
And you know, he raves about him. You know, him and his brother Tony. You know, speaking to him and all that, and they're so excited about it. Frank's excited about him, and I think that with the heavyweight scene at the moment, we've got another addition here for this guy to come, and he's going to be fighting next at the Copper Box on the 20th of May, and you know, hopefully he'll go past the first round and show the guys exactly what he's got. But you know, all the other guys on the card, it was a brilliant night. The fans enjoyed it, you know, and from what I'm looking on social media, the response was fantastic. So on to the next one, which is going to be the 22nd in Leicester, Tommy Langford versus Curtis Hyde, and
next weekend, isn't it?
Yep, for WBO interim, and they're hot on Billy Joe Saunders' tail. So the one winner out of that is in prime position. So it's exciting times.
Shouldn't be too difficult, mate, especially with Billy's with Frank. Just quickly, while you mention it, obviously that's going to be a huge event on the 20th of May. Do you know much more about the undercard?
The undercard, great undercard. What we've got, it's Ryan Walsh versus Marco McCulloch.
Okay.
I think that'd be for the British. Yeah, for the British title. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I think it's for Ryan's British title. Sorry, I do know that. That's an excellent fight for Ryan. I'm really looking forward to that one. That's a tough fight for Ryan. That's to keep his Lonsdale belt outright.
Yeah.
We've got also on the bill Chris Hobbs versus Anthony Yard for the Southern Area title. That's Anthony Yard's first title fight. That's going to be going to be good. Chris Hobbs is coming in very confident of Anthony Yard and all that, but you know, I hope he is ready, because Anthony Yard's something. I think something
special. He can bang with both hands.
Something special. And
he's actually light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight.
He's light heavyweight.
He's a very big light heavyweight.
Yeah,
as well,
I've seen him.
And also we've got a very good matchup with two light middleweights, and it's a great trade fight. And I think it could very well still the show. I mean, and there's something I think of the undercard fights, obviously, because Gigante Davis and Liam Walsh is just a fantastic world title fight. It's a worthy world. It is a proper world title fight. Two world class guys. But on the undercard, we've got two light middleweights going at it. Joe Pickford versus Aaron Morgan.
Okay.
And that's going to be a barnstormer. So you know, and a lot more others on the card anyway. So you know, we're really looking forward to this.
It's spicing up nicely, isn't it? I would imagine with Gervonta Davis being the main event, you're probably expecting Floyd Mayweather over as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
He'd be highly surprised if he wasn't there. You know, that's one of his biggest stars.
He is
out there as well, and you know what? He's one of the hottest prospects in world boxing. So to get him over here, kudos for that as well. And you know,
and same to Liam Walsh, because it was a great performance by Davis when he won the title, wasn't it?
Well, I think Liam Walsh would have took Pedraza, would have took him apart if he would have fought Pedraza. You know, Liam Walsh. You know, this is not a gimme for Gervonta Davis. This really isn't. And I'll tell you something. If anyone can stop this young man, Liam Walsh can. And I'll tell you something. I'm going to back Liam Walsh to the hills to win this fight.
Excellent.
But you know, I really can't wait for it. It's going to be absolutely blinding.
Yeah, it's not long now, mate. About 5 weeks. Just very quickly, mate. What's the update on Billy Underwood? Nice kid.
Yeah, nice. As we know, that he dislocated his shoulder in his last fight at York Hall.
Yeah.
It just popped. It kept popping in and that all through the fight, and you know, he's been under the doctor. He's got an MRI scan for that on the 20th of this month, so we'll know the extent of what we're dealing with and what we got and what we got to fix. And you know, hopefully, if it's not too serious, we'll have him out June, July. But we just got to wait for the test results. You know,
see what comes back.
He's just going to be ticking over with his fitness and all that sort of stuff. And you know, I really hope to get him in there. He's a young kid. He's got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a lot to learn, but he's got a lot of potential. And you know,
and he's got some good trainers with Barry Smith, Harry Andrews as well.
Yeah, really good. Really good vibe down that gym as well. And I'm really glad that he's settled in down there really well.
Good.
And all the guys down there, I feel like he's in safe hands with Harry, and obviously, you know, Barry, who's helping him out with there as well. You know, they're really good guys. So.
Definitely. Yeah. Just before we wrap up, any other events coming up, mate?
I've got a fighter that just joined the team as well. John Gillies from Liverpool. We've got a cruiserweight.
Excellent.
Really.
Another big guy.
He's been a bit in and out of boxing. He's had 2 pro fights already. He was multi-championship winner in K1. You know, so he's got a huge following, and we're going to be having him out at the Brentwood Centre on the 19th of May, the day before the big Liam Walsh fight. He's going to be on the MTK London show.
Brilliant.
I'd like to thank those guys for getting him on there as well. You know,
good guys.
They're doing really good stuff down there, them guys. So a big shout out to them, and I hope they carry on doing what they're doing. But yeah, apart from that, it's just all systems go with the other one, no PARM. So can't complain really. It's looking really busy at the moment.
Mate, it's been a busy schedule for you as well, so keep going. Always appreciate your time, Alfie. Man, it's always good to get your analysis as well.
Yeah.
So from me to you, thank you very much, and have a great Easter, mate.
Always a pleasure. Same to you as well.
Take care, pal.